Hello there! This is Operanthesis, and I guess that most of you, or at least some of you, know the Clone Wars 2008 show. It's basically a cartoon with 6 seasons plus a seventh season that wasn't completed and was left with incomplete CGI models and animation. Well, I will review every single episode of this show and tell my opinions to you. Actually, no, not every single, only those that left an impact on me. So I'm sorry if one of your favorite episodes was left out. If you really want me to cover it, tell me in the comments below and then I will do that. Starting off from the first episode that was showed to the world, Ambush. This is my review of Clone Wars Season 1, Episode 1, Ambush. The episode starts out with a narration that explains that King Katunko, king of planet Toydaria, where Toydarians live. They are the species of Watto from Episode 1, Anakin's slave owner. Basically, King Katunko can decide whether to join the Separatists or the Republic. Count Dooku assures him that all the stories about the Jedi being so powerful are a legend, just to lure everyone onto the Republic side. I wanted to talk a bit about Corey Burton's portrayal of Count Dooku. Rest in peace, Christopher Lee. You will be missed. For those who aren't aware what I'm talking about, Christopher Lee died last in 2015. He was the actor who portrayed Count Dooku in the actual films. He did voice the Count in the Clone Wars animated movie, but did not return to voice him in the show. Corey Burton, who voices him in the show, well, he is alright, but I don't quite see him capturing this old, wise tone that Christopher Lee has. But I mean, not everyone is perfect, of course, and I think this is an alright Dooku. It's good. But what I absolutely hate about this Dooku is the fact how he looks. He looks like, like a cylinder, like a sausage. His head doesn't look like Christopher Lee's head one single bit. And I know maybe that's because of the Clone Wars 2003 hand-drawn show where he was like that. And maybe this show took inspiration, probably. But I mean, if you're trying to create those characters as realistically as possible, this head is just ridiculous. Well, that's my opinion at least. So basically, Yoda needs to arrive on this planet, but the Separatists come out of hyperspace and begin bombing his ship. But Yoda doesn't give up and just goes in on an escape pod down onto the planet to continue his mission. What happens next is basically Ventress, a new character introduced by this show. She's basically the apprentice of Dooku, which breaks the rule of two, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Ventress, I'm alright with her. So basically, Ventress, Yoda calls King Katunko, and basically King Katunko explains that Dooku wants him to join the Separatists, but Ventress decides to put a challenge. Like, if Yoda destroys all the droids and wins the battle and gets to the place of their meeting, then King Katunko should join the Republic. But if Yoda dies in this battle, then King Katunko should join the Separatists. Now, I know this might sound a little stupid, but for the fans, but I find it ridiculous. This challenge I really, really don't take it for serious. Like seriously, I some things in this show I can take, like I can understand, but this is one of those things that I think is just plain stupid and it wouldn't happen in real life, nor in a Star Wars movie. Now, I have mostly spoken negatively about this show, and I don't want to be one of those prequel haters only with the Clone Wars. I love this planet, or should I say moon. It's very beautiful and I love the design. That is a very positive thing for me. I really like the art style of this episode, of how it's colored, of everything, how it looks very nice. That's what it is. And yeah, that's why I really like it. Unfortunately, I have to return to negativity. I hate the droids, the battle droids in this show. First of all, I hate their voices. I like the voices in the Phantom Menace much more. So this is a comparison right now I will do of the droids from the Clone Wars voices and the droids from the Phantom Menace.
Check it out, Corporal. We'll cover you. Roger, roger. Oh, blast. Oh. Where are you taking me? Force off. That doesn't compute. Wait, you're under arrest.
What does he look like? Small, huh? Don't worry, Supreme Leader. We'll take care of him.
You see the difference? This droid's voice from the Clone Wars is far more cartoonish than the one from the Phantom Menace. This is not a big complaint, it's just that I don't really like the idea of making those droids so stupid and so cartoonish. I think the films did enough of that, so yeah. And also Matthew Wood, who voices both General Grievous in this show and in Revenge of the Sith, and in the battle droids in this show, he I can't say he does a good job because most of his voice, like for Grievous, is mostly edited. It's just edited, and his real voice isn't as intimidating or as stupid as it is in the final cut. But I really have gone off topic here, haven't I? So basically, what happens next is a lot of scenes of the droids fighting Yoda, Yoda using the Force, Yoda being a badass, which I love. There are some very cool scenes, but I want not to make this review too long, cut to the main scene, which is incredible. So here it is.
Prepare to fire. Supreme Leader, we found the Jedi.
Excellent. Where is he?
He's just sitting here, in front of our tanks.
Shoot him! Shoot him now!
Quickly, ready, aim, fire! Fire!
Oh God, do I like this scene. Yoda being so badass is incredible. Just seeing him being so cool, slicing everyone up, and it's incredible. It's one of my favorite scenes from this episode. So basically, after Yoda cuts down all the droids, the Toydarian king understands that indeed Yoda is powerful and he wants to join the Republic, but basically Dooku tells Ventress to kill the king. And then she disarms his guards, but then I love what happens. Basically, Ventress wants to slice his neck, but then Yoda uses the Force to stop the lightsabers, and then he says like a cringe-worthy line, about how weak she is, and then he just uses the force to take the lightsabers out of her hand. But in his place, I wouldn't give them back, because that just seems a bit stupid for me. I mean, like, she's a real enemy. She's killing people on the battlefront. Why like not capture her? But that I've had enough of talking. Overall, I enjoyed this episode despite having a lot of negativity to it. My ranking of this episode is 8 out of 10. O parenthesis out.